Well, there you go.
Well, first I want to tell you, man. While we're off,
Who's your lawsuit with for your music song, and what song is it that you're in the middle of a lawsuit with?
Vince Johnson.
What song?
And what song is it?
It's for all 26 of my songs
That's
because
why.
he helped co-write 6 songs back in 2013, and he was paid, and he signed over his co-writing rights, and that was it. That's all he had to do with it. And then when Tiger King came out and Joe was in solitary confinement, and we have this on a deposition, he says that he saw an opportunity and he took it. He claimed that he wrote all 26 songs. He performed them. He sang them. Everything.
good.
All right, so
That's why we're back.
And he got a record deal, and Netflix paid him.
I'm sure, and we're back live with all everybody. Welcome back to the feed, man. We had a little bit of a glitch there as someone is trying to
Silence the truth.
Silence the
Silence
truth
the
out
truth.
there. And Joe, I have to say, man, when I first got this interview, I was excited because you know, just like everyone else said, and my wife said it as well, you got us through the pandemic, man, and you didn't even know it because you were in solitary confinement. People need to understand that you're a real person. I'm shocked with who I'm speaking with right now. And I hope that someone listens to your story and is willing to hear your story and willing to take another look, because it's not the person that the world that the world has been shown. I guess is the words I'm saying.
You know what, guys, Charlie, where I have a real issue with the justice system in this country is I filed another clemency last month with the Biden administration with the evidence. I'm on appeal. I have waited 6 years and still haven't got the okay for a new trial. Okay, and all we have is the Biden administration complaining about people in prison in Russia and other countries, and we're trading dangerous people and $6 billion to get people out of prison that pled guilty. Okay, Brittany Griner pled guilty of what she did in Russia. But according to President Biden, she was wrongfully detained. Now, what the hell about the other 40,000 people in American prison that is wrongfully detained?
For every person, though, but for every person that says they're wrongfully detained, there's at least half of those that are rightfully detained saying they're wrongfully detained. Would you agree with that?
I agree. Look, if I wouldn't have lived this the last 6 years, I would have called any.
You have 1 minute remaining.
I would have called anybody in prison a liar, okay? But now that I've seen it and how many people are in prison serving sentences for conspiracy to distribute drugs that never even got caught with drugs, dude, this is nothing but modern-day slavery. And on the next 15 minutes, I'll explain that to you. So let me call you right back.
All right, call me right back.
Thank you, Joe. Thank you.
All right, there you go. Wow.
Wow.
Ladies and
Thank you for
gentlemen.
using Global Tellink.
I'm like blown away right
How
now.
insane is this?
This is like
I'm
How
blown away with all this.
insane
If you're
is
just
this?
tuning in right now, we're doing a special one-on-one interview with Joe Exotic right now. And they by the way, if you had an issue with the live stream, go back live.
Yeah.
We obviously shouldn't have played the song knowing he's in a contract.
Well, I didn't even think. I didn't put two and
I
two
didn't
together.
either.
Right, neither did
But
I.
we're
but-
good. We're good. We're good.
Right,
now. We're
right.
back. We're back. We got everybody back in the room.
So just make sure you guys share this back out.
So we have
everyone-
as long as he's
So,
able
well,
to do it.
this
It's
is-
15-minute increments.
This is very strange that this is who we're speaking to. This is not who we thought. And at first I was like, the voice, and then it's like,
I know. At
well,
first, I didn't think it was a
like,
him.
but
I'm not gonna
this
lie.
is
I knew
him.
it was. Yeah, I knew
Right,
it was him.
and-
Well, the voice is
it
different.
says it's calling from a federal prison, so I'm
and he
not
obviously
sure.
has somebody running his social. He does.
He does
Yeah.
because they're in the chat right now.
Right,
He
and
wouldn't
he's
be able
not
to watch
chatting
it.
and talking at the same
Right.
time. And he's definitely in the penitentiary because we're talking to him from there.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hello. This is a prepaid debit call from an inmate at the Santa Rosa County Sheriff's Office. To accept this call, press 0. To refuse this call is from a correction facility and is subject to monitoring and recording. Thank you for using Global Tellink.
All right, we're back now with Joe Exotic. Joe, welcome back to the show.
Okay, so what's going on in America is people are being kidnapped, citizens, your loved ones, your fathers, your daughters, your brothers, your sisters, your moms, and your dads. Okay, they're being kidnapped in America to work in prison for the Bush family, with Unicor and Keefe and Bob Barker. Okay, and you're made to work 8 hours a day, 5 days a week for $5.25 a month. And people are sleeping on the floors. There's so many people in prison, they're sleeping on the floors. But for the and guys, before this election's over with, I've offered the evidence to Trump and Biden, and neither one of them have taken it yet. But before the November election comes, if I have to release it myself and spend the rest of my life in solitary confinement, I will. Because I've had a phone in here for 2 years, and I've paid the price for having that phone in here. I've done my whole time. I lost my good time and everything else. But I have documents of the black mold, the algae, the expired food we're forced to eat, and the guards stealing stuff, and people sitting around with needles in their arms, and all the way down to the guards that are selling it, okay? And at some point, Joe's going to release this. And if I have to screw up this election, that's what I'm going to do. But it would sure be nice if somebody with a little more power like Trump would look at this evidence and say, wow, this is happening under an administration that stood on a stage during a drive-in theater during COVID and promised prison and justice reform because him and Kamala Harris was part of the problem.
So
nothing has been done.
The stories you say are somewhat shocking, but not surprising
Right.
to say the least.
Right.
But the mold and the things that you have, and you got caught with a cell phone you were not supposed to have, and you had it for 2 years, and then you got caught with it.
Yes.
Are you worried that? And hear me out here, because you're in your process of trying to get out, and you're out here trying to speak your mind, making this, I'm going to call it what it is, this threat of releasing this information if no one else wants to hear it. Are you worried about these types of things affecting your ability to get an appeal, your ability to get a pardon?
Look, you know what? I don't even need a pardon. I'm asking for clemency, and they can keep their damn conviction, so they can keep their 98% conviction rate. I just want this made right and let me go home, so they can just do time served and let me go home, and I'll forget all about this. But I'm still going to testify in front of Congress. If I make it out of here alive, my goal is to take my evidence and testify in front of Congress and demand some answers of why American people are living like river rats in a cage.
So but in essence, Joe, hear me out. By you saying if you get out, you're going to testify and speak on that, doesn't that in effect actually slow down your ability to get a clemency, because they're worried about what you will say when you get out?
You know what? What am I going to do? Kiss their butt and just ignore what's going on? I can't do that.
Absolutely.
Now, I walked in a cage every day with 20 tigers, expecting to die any minute. You know what? I fought cancer once. Now they're saying that I have a 95% chance of having lung cancer again now. Dude, I got to do something to change this system, because our politicians won't.
Wow.
The facility that you are staying in full time, not the one that you're in now, but the one you're staying in full time, is located where?
Fort Worth, Texas.
And you're saying the conditions there are horrendous.
Dude, it's a medical center, okay? It's called the Fort Worth Medical Center, okay? A federal prison, all right? And my bunkie that sleeps above me, the roof is leaking on his bed. We have a trash bag taped to the ceiling, guiding the water out the window, because they just don't fix nothing.
Now,
Man.
do you have? You said on this phone, you have this
And
evidence
I have pictures of it.
on the on
On the
somewhere?
cell phone that was taken from you, or other?
No, I have all the evidence out in the free world in 3 very safe places.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. I just want to make sure that everyone understands that if you're just tuning in right now, we're talking to Joe Exotic live right now. He is in a Florida county jail awaiting to speak at a trial based on a music copyright situation going on between him and another person. And he gets this small window to be able to talk to people and get the message out. And by no way do I want to squander it, because when I first got this interview, we even talked about it. We were like, I wonder what we're going to get, because even when I was at my other radio station, you used to write my co-host that was named Little Brownie, and you would write her letters and talk, and we would read them on the air, and you guys communicate a little bit. You know, you said a lot that I'm innocent, but now that you hear it out of your voice, I think more people need to hear it.
Absolutely.
I think there needs to be a TV station out there wanting to do an interview with you so they can go one-on-one with you. Are the prisons not allowing people to interview? I feel like every TV station in America would want to.
I have been denied every on-camera interview that anyone has filled out.
Wow.
Yeah. Hey, like I said, if it wasn't for being here in Santa Rosa County, I wouldn't even have access to a phone, because they do not want the truth out there that bad.
And you're right, and you come to Florida, and Florida's like, yeah, man,
Yeah,
here,
yeah.
take a phone, bro.
Sure.
Go ahead, yeah.
Everybody needs to hear this message. I mean, this needs to be shared everywhere.
Yeah,
This
I
is
think people need to know more, and just because you do something wrong, and even if, and let me just say real quick, even if Joe was 100% guilty and needed to serve his time, and a jury, did you go by jury trial or a judge trial?
I did go by a jury trial, but this was such an agenda, and people were paid to lie on the stand. I didn't have a chance.
And now people want to hear him, and he's not the crazy guy. No offense,
Right.
The crazy guy we hear now. I know that there's that part of what we saw is going to be a little bit real. Is it hard? Like when you said a moment ago, you said, I'd take a lie detector test if I got a lie detector test. If Joe Exotic got out today, you said you would go speak at Congress. Once you were done with Congress, what would you do next?
Hey, look, I'm engaged to a very, very nice man in Fort Smith, Arkansas, that has a 4-year-old little boy, and all I want to do is go home, get married, have a family. I've been offered a world tour to do a concert. And I want to testify in front of Congress, have a family, and forget these people that did this whole show ever exist.
Is it hard to find
That's all
people
I
to
wanna
is it hard to find people to trust, like the guy while you were in solitary went out on the bus or limo tour or whatever it was? Is it hard to find people that you can actually trust when you're locked up?
Oh, absolutely, because my parents have died. My brother and my niece helped set me up and do this because they were jealous of my mom and dad spending all the money on the zoo instead of saving it to give them when they died. You know, so that's how Carol ended up with my zoo. Was my niece took my power of attorney away from me when I got arrested that I had from my mom and dad, and I took care of them at their house, and then the minute they got me in jail, she put them in separate nursing homes. And this is after being married 70-plus years, okay? And they couldn't talk to each other. So she took their house. She took their land. She signed the zoo over to Carol, so there wasn't any squabble because Carol was suing my mom. So that was my niece's settlement. I'll keep the house and land. You can have the zoo, and we'll go on our merry way. And that's how Carol got the zoo. And my mom and dad are actually the ones who suffered for all of this because they died without ever getting to say goodbye to each other.
Sad.
That's horrendous.
Over money and greed. And my parents took such good care of their kids. Anything we ever wanted, we got.
So you were at a moment where you were doing this road show. You had the zoo. You were high on the. I mean, you were out there, man. You were making, in your own personal words, shit tons of money. Is there a moment where you saw everything start to turn south, and did you do anything to prepare for it?
The minute I met Jeff Lowe, I was in lawsuits with Carol for 10 years. Didn't bother me a bit because I hauled scrap iron and did whatever I had to do to pay the bills. The minute I met Jeff Lowe, the con artist, and he got involved in the zoo and my life, that's when it went to hell.
Yeah, I never trusted that guy from the moment I saw him.
Right.
Look, if you get on that Joe Exotic official and you look at the evidence link, there's recordings. John Phillips, my lawyer out of Jacksonville, Florida, got them to turn over their cell phones and their computers. All right, Jeff, Lauren, James, and Alan, all of them turned over their cell phones. Well, they forgot to erase the backside of the phone, so John Phillips was able to retrieve 416 phone recordings. Okay, and some of those phone recordings are on that link. All right, of Jeff and Lauren blackmailing each other during a fight of how they were raping girls, and that's what was going on at the zoo, guys. Nobody has ever gave me the chance to explain what was really going on at that zoo with Jeff and James and Lauren, because I walked away from that zoo. I built that zoo. It was a $5 million zoo. I built it in June the 16th of 2018. I walked away from it. I came to Gulf Breeze, Florida. I rented a house. I got a job at Peg Leg Peaks on the beach, washing dishes, and I was perfectly happy. 3 months later, they concocted this murder for hire story, put me in jail, and took my entire life away from me. I gave them the zoo, and that wasn't good enough. And if you look on YouTube right now, Joe Exotic Zoo, it's a ghost town. They took the doors off my house. They let horses live in my house. They destroyed my house. They destroyed everything. And it sets as a ghost town. Not because they wanted to get the zoo to make money, because today it would have been a world-famous zoo.
Right.
All you had to do was stop breeding if you didn't agree with what I was doing. But instead, they trashed it. That goes to show you what the agenda was. It was about destroying Joe. It wasn't about saving tigers. It wasn't about animal abuse. It was about destroying Joe.
I never got that vibe from Carol Baskin that she was necessarily. It seemed like she was definitely more interested in destroying you by hiring people to follow you around the country when you were originally doing all your, your exhibitions and stuff. Because I think I agree with a lot of points that you had made about it being an educational purpose and a tool for people to have a connection, like Doc had mentioned in the Netflix series as well. That it's a way to interact with people where you open up your hearts and your wallets.
How did Jeff Lowe get involved in your business? Now, we don't want to know the version we saw on Netflix. How did he work his way into your business?
Okay, he had a place out in Colorado Springs, all right, and it was a gigantic house. Okay, well anyway, he calls me and he says, Joe, I'm thinking about buying this sanctuary. Will you come out and look at it and tell me your opinion if it's going to be worth it? Okay, so he flies me and Travis out there, and me and Travis had just got legally married, and so we flew out there for our honeymoon. We went skydiving. Okay. And I looked at this sanctuary. I said, the reputation is horrible. It's going to cost you $500,000 just to raise the cages so they can't crawl out the top. Okay, well, he had this gigantic mansion, okay, with an indoor swimming pool and everything, a Ferrari in the driveway, a Hummer in the driveway, throwing cash around and everything. So I came back to Oklahoma, and 2 weeks later he calls and he says, well, would you be interested in selling your zoo? I said no, but I'd be interested in an investor so I could take it to the next level. Okay, well, he conned me and my mom into putting his name on half the land in order to put in $300,000. Well, the minute we got his name on half the deed, okay, he ends up in jail in Colorado for strangling his wife. All right, so that's when Lauren comes in the picture. She comes from South Carolina, goes to Colorado, bails him out, and come to find out, he has nowhere to go. Okay, the mansion was rented. He was behind on payments on the Ferrari. He was behind on payments on the Hummer. The motherfucker didn't have nothing. Excuse my language. But he was already half owner of the zoo. His name was already on the deed. So him and Lauren moved to the zoo, and they just start making life hell. Okay, and then they used baby tigers in the zoo to sit in the office all day long on Facebook and Instagram, luring young girls to the zoo to pet baby tigers, get them to their cabin that they built on the zoo, and drug them in and have sex with them.
Oh my God.
Wow, that is something that I think more people need to hear, and I think no one else has heard this before.
No.
I'm seeing
Hey,
you like
don't take my word for it. Listen to all of the phone recordings that John Phillips has on his YouTube. It's John Phillips Esquire, and it's Tiger Tales. All of the evidence is there. You're going to get sick to your stomach listening to it, of how Jeff forces Lauren to do drugs, to have sex with other men while he watches. He's just a pig.
And that's the image I had of him.
Yeah.
So, and I think that's the image everybody had of him. And you're just putting the nail in the coffin, so to speak. And I think it's something that the world should look into. And that's something that people need to know, especially in 2024. That is just what you're saying is enough to incite an investigation into that. And I would say it needs to be done immediately.
I feel like
The sad part is the sad part is, guys, is with all of this evidence and the evidence you'll see on that website, James's fake driver's licenses with his picture on there and other people's names, and that's how they were renting houses out in Vegas under false names to do their sex trafficking and bank fraud and wire fraud and all that. But why did the U.S. attorneys in Oklahoma City cover all this up? Because there's text messages there that we have now that the federal agents knew this was going on, and they covered it up to put me in jail.
Go ahead.
wow, this is heavy.
So we have a federal agent and 2 FBI agents and a federal fish and wildlife agent and 2 U.S. attorneys in Oklahoma City that knew that girls were being raped and just turned a blind eye. So you can't pet a baby tiger, because this whole thing is about the Big Cat Safety Act, because they nicknamed it the Tiger King bill as soon as they come out with Netflix. This was their goal.
They made you a villain.
And
I'm a political prisoner for the Big Cat Safety Act, so you can't pet a baby tiger in America.
I had no
How
idea,
stupid
by the way,
how
there was
stupid-
no parole inside a federal prison. You're not eligible at
No.
all for release at all.
No, there's not.
How old are you now?
61. If I serve my whole time and I live through it, I'll be 73 by the time I walk out of here with nothing. No clothes, no home, no nothing.
I got to tell you, I want you to have the ability to call us anytime, and I know you're limited on time as it is, and I'm going to share this and continue to share this message, and I want to say thank you so much for taking time to be with us today, because talking to you has opened my eyes to another level about who Joe Exotic is and who Joseph. Say your last name for me. I don't want to say it wrong.
Maldonado.
Joseph Maldonado, because that's who he really is. He's not Joe Exotic,
That's who I am.
and that's who he is. And he's a real guy, and not some character you see on TV. And has no desire to get out and hunt down Carol Baskin. And I'm sure that that we need to definitely try to help free Joe Exotic, without lack of better words.
Yeah.
I feel a bit
You know-
swindled right now. Like I feel like we've been played, and that's a tough thing to take in right now.
Yeah.
Right, because so many people got involved in that, and not
Yeah.
and this isn't who we expected to talk to
At
at
No,
all.
all.
sir.
not
At all.
At all.
At all.
I thought we would get him on, and he would, and he'd be like, "Carol Baskin, that
Right.
bitch."
Right. I'm sure he's still gonna say that though.
Right.
I'm sure. Can we?
You know,
Can we get it one
You
time?
Can we get a one time? Can we get a one time Carol Baskin that bitch?
it all boils down to numbers, because it's an election year and politicians are scared of numbers. So ask your listeners from the bottom of my heart, every time you see a post that Trump puts up or Biden puts up, just put Free Joe Exotic in the comments and let them know that the American voters want this justice to be reformed. Not just for me. I'm fighting for 165,000 people that are being treated like river rats in federal custody in this country, while we're handing $100 billion to Israel and Ukraine
You have 1 minute remaining.
so they can keep killing people.
Well, one more time, give out the website where they go get the evidence, Joe. Go ahead.
JoeExoticOfficial.com. There's an evidence drop-down link. Go watch the videos and look at all the evidence that we have, and just share it with everybody you know, because I have to get the truth out. I love each and every one of you that are listening and support me. Don't forget to come on the 23rd to Pensacola, Florida. Get some free T-shirts and all kinds of stuff. 9 o'clock in the morning at the federal courthouse, Pensacola, Florida. Charlie, gang, I appreciate you so much by giving me a voice.
Man, thank you so much.
Anytime.
Joe Exotic, everybody. Joe,
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, buddy. You have a blessed day.
Wow.
There you
Thank
go.
you, sir.
All right. Well, what I would call one of the most riveting interviews I've done in
I'm
my
just like-
career.
Wow.
I'm blown away. Like,
Wow.
I mean, I know I didn't get to say it, but I was as
I
I'm
have
taking notes.
so
I've
many
said,
feelings
you
right
know, I
now.
wonder if he knows about Gypsy Rose. Like, I was talking to Victoria about this before I came back, and I'm like, you know, she actually, you know, she didn't murder, but she partaked in the murder.
I feel
from
like he's
mother.
got a lot more knowledge about what's going on in the world now while he's in this county
Yeah.
jail in Florida. He's able to get his
But
message
how
Could you
does
out.
somebody
imagine,
like
think about
her-
that. He went 2 years without having access to anything, and now to
Yeah.
come to Florida and be bombarded and then not have the voice to be able to speak. Like, it's like, you know, someone's,
need to do
it's a
this.
one-sided narrative that now he is able to try to get on as many platforms as he can to be able to
Yes.
push what he wants people to know. I mean, that's insane. Well, I mean, what an interview.
95% conviction rate of
71
federal.
when he gets out.
And he'll be 71 when he gets out.
With
if
a
somebody-
95% chance of lung cancer right now.
And
Insane.
I think it's worth looking into. We also should definitely look into Jeff.
Right.
Yeah.
It's time for us to look into that a little bit more deep as Americans and know what was going on there. And in 2024, our eyes are open. We are seeing what we've never seen before. And now that we've been told the truth from the horse's mouth, no pun intended, or from the tiger's mouth,
Yeah.
no pun intended. It's something we need to look into, man. I'm blown away right now. This will
I
be.
don't even
I'm getting
know.
ready to leave on a cruise tomorrow, and
And
I'm
now
going to
you're
talk
like-
about this shit to
Yeah.
about 100 different people.
Okay.
Like I don't even understand. Like I'm good. This is going to be my conversation. I am floored right now, and so thank you so much
Yes.
for facilitating that interview. I
got you.
I know he thought he was only talking to Charlie. He
Charlie.
thinks you've got one hell of a voice, my friend. Right?
And I didn't correct him.
He likes your
I
pipes.
didn't
He,
correct
he
him.
likes your pipes.
I didn't correct him. I'm just saying.
And I
no.
didn't care either because
Yeah.
it wasn't about me.
Right.
It was
No,
about
this is
getting
about
his
him.
message out.
Yeah.
And I am blessed to have this guy take time to call us and be a part of it. And I'm shocked at the same time. But once again, thank you for your undying dedication. And best of
7
luck
months.
next week.
7 months.
And I
Right.
really, but
7
I really,
months we've been
now
securing
with
this interview, by the way.
I really want to hear from Carol. Like, I really do, because I feel like she might know a little bit more.
What's
too.
her opinion of what Joe
Right.
just said?
Right.
What's your
Yeah.
opinion on how Joe just said? How do you feel about what's going on now? Because they villainized him. They put him in that light. What we thought of Joe Exotic is what we've seen only on the show.
Right.
Because let me be honest, did you see his trial?
No.
You know
No.
what the other craziest thing is?
Crazy, you didn't see his trial, right?
That bomb that he dropped on us is I thought all that footage was Netflix.
Right.
I
Yeah.
thought it was a dude with a Netflix logo on his camera saying
Yeah.
this is all for Netflix.
Right.
This was all his private stuff and his hard drive
And
that
we
his
need to see
ex-husband
his
got
story
rid
now.
of, sold behind his back, and they turned it into a
Money
Netflix.
making.
That
And
dude's
you-
dead now.
But here's
Money
the
making.
That's
no.
insane.
Oh yeah, that one. No, the
The
one.
one
that,
who sold the computer is dead
no,
now.
I thought he got a divorce from him.
Empire.
Well, he
that
did,
is
but-
insane.
The
The
first
first
one
ones,
is
but then,
dead. Oh.
but then
Oh.
there's another one.
Okay.
But you know, listening to him, that point exactly, I almost thought of the four of us. How many times do we come in this room and we act like goofy people and that we hate each other? You know, not that we hate each other, but we're mad at each other or whatever, and then we're in the parking lot as best friends. Shut your mouth. But it's true.
Don't turn it.
Stop. No, but it is true.
I
Like,
feel that
that's
he-
just how this guy is he
his,
was putting on a show, and then that's not who he really is.
His second opportunity is coming because I feel that he needs to tell his story in his his
Man,
truth.
if there's a news
I
station
would
right now
watch
that can get
that.
to Pensacola, get into that jail, they
Right
get that
now.
interview.
Right. Now's
Like,
the time.
now's
He's
the
gone. By
time.
the
Right
way, the
now.
opportunity might never happen again.
Man,
Sunday,
local news
Monday,
right now, listen to us anywhere in the world.
Right.
You need to get your ass there
There's
and
a
be like, we
scoop.
want an interview.
There's a
The
scoop right now.
power of
Monday
media
is
is
his
incredible.
actual
Because we've never
thing.
seen him. We've never seen him post trial.
Right.
Matter of fact, I never saw him pre-trial. Like you never heard about him until he was already in jail.
This
Right.
gave me goosebumps. Like seriously.
And it's so crazy, like you said you hit it right on the head. We saw that Netflix; he was already locked up.
Yeah, I'm here
And
thinking
for us,
he's all
we're-
part of
We're
this
watching
and-
entertainment.
yeah.
We
Yeah.
didn't know. We're
We
like,
didn't know that.
it's Tiger King. That dude crazy.
And we thought he was.
Crazy.
And how
Yeah.
many
And it's
people have
like-
made money off his
And I
likeness
loved
and never
watching
paid him a
tons.
dollar?
Right.
I loved
and right
watching
now,
his
that dude,
personality and the way that he says things and how creative he is with So you connect with the guy, so you think, yeah, this is him putting himself out there, and then all
Right.
these things happen. You're like,
now you realize it's personal videos. Personal
I want to say
videos.
some truth here real
They
quick because I
stole
only got a
his
little bit of time.
life.
I want to get on my vacation.
Yeah, we
But
got
I
it.
want to say this real quick. When you told me about the interview, the first thing I said, is he real?
Yeah.
When he first started talking to me, I said the same thing again to myself. Is this really him? And then I realized I was talking to the real Joe Exotic.
Mm-hmm.
And when you told me about that, we went back and forth on how we were going to handle this
Right.
interview.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Because if you give me a green light on a guest you book, and I'm allowed to say and go wherever I
Right.
want, and there's no
You're
limits.
going.
And
You're
this
going.
is-
I'm
this is
going because
conversations
that's
that I
how
have
you
with
get
him all
people
the
to
time.
watch you. That's how you get people to like. I research every guest. It could be a damn guy coming in here that sells plumbing material, and I'll research that guest and be like, all right, tell me about the time your cousin passed away. And they're like, what the fuck do you know? How do you know that?
Right.
And
Yeah.
because I want to have those one-on-one moments with people. And he said, go after him. And they were like, no, let's not go after him. And then I was like, well, let's go after him. He's like, well, let's not. Yeah, let's. And we
kept
went
going
back
back
and
and
forth
forth.
on it.
We did that because as I'm writing to him, I'm realizing, man, this is a guy that needs help, not ridicule.
Yes.
Right.
I'm talking to Joseph Maldonado, not Tiger King.
And by the-
and that's where I think the
And I said-
connection, we knew where to go with this interview.
I like him.
Absolutely.
I would put him on the show again.
Absolutely.
I would talk to him anytime he wanted to talk about. I'll read his letters. I don't care. Say your speech. I'm in. Let's get in and raise some hell
Give him a
and get
voice.
you out of jail, man. I mean, God, man. He's not no damn harm to society. This is us wasting
No.
money. We wasting money on this one, dog. We are wasting a lot of money. How many of these people in prison are we wasting money that if you let out, they wouldn't do any harm or they would die within 5 years?
Right.
Right.
Like let him get a breath, bro. Let him get a little bit. Like they did a crime. Like this guy didn't do much.
But
And
look at what Gypsy Rose did. She served 8 years. And I mean, this guy is still in a federal prison getting treated like garbage.
Man.
Well,
What
he's
is
a scapegoat.
wrong?
That's what we call that.
Well,
Scapegoat.
and the thing
know.
is that
That's
he's
what he was used.
advocating not only for himself but for everybody else
I
that's
know.
in there because
Yeah.
of the grotesque.
and I found
conditions.
I guys, just so you know, I shot a lot of bait out there, and that's the best way I can do it. I put a lot of bait out there looking for the thing to lure in, to find him an angle where he would go
Crumble.
back to him. And only one time did he go back into that. Like he was ready to take a lie detector test.
Right.
That was one time because that really fires him up that he's locked up and that chick is not. And he still believes that she had something to do with the disappearance of her husband.
Which
and
I think
man, by
a
the way,
lot.
most of America does.
Yeah.
Most of America does. I mean, it's to a point to where they've actually asked the Hillsborough County Sheriff to search the property, but there's nothing
Test
left
the
in
meat
that property.
grinder.
It's too
Right.
late.
Test the meat grinder.
Too late.
Can
by
Too
I-
now.
late
I know it's
now.
too late now.
Way
Too
too
late
late
by
now.
now.
Can I just remind everybody that he is still in the chat? So if you see his, he's been posting up links and things that he's got.
Make sure you give him a follow.
So make sure that
Yeah.
follow him, like him. I mean, we are definitely would love to be
Well,
your
what a way to go on vacation.
Megaphone,
right?
yeah.
With a
I think
story
you
to
need
tell
a-
for the entire effing cruise.
You need
Everybody.
a
Free Joe Exotic
you
shirt.
Need a hashtag free exotic.
God, how do I get that? Oh, damn it, I'm busting out the machine tonight, am I?
Let's,
I don't want to, bro. I don't want to do it. I don't want to.
But I
Let's
think
get
you
some
need to,
t-shirts
just
out.
Right.
because, like,
right, bro.
and then send people
Wow.
back. Be like,
There
you know, I
he
got a
is.
radio
I
show.
need
Go,
I need
let's
a
do it.
favor, man. I need a favor. I know this is going to be crazy.
Yeah.
I want this on the main page
let's get the truth out
of the
there.
website
I can do it.
so that because I've got all those ducks and people are going to go straight there, and I
Mm-hmm.
want them to know that they can hear the Joe Exotic interview.
Okay.
This is probably one of the biggest, if not the biggest interview. There's some breaking news inside here. There's
Oh, yeah.
stuff that people have never
So
heard
if
in
you
their
missed
lives.
it, definitely
We're gonna have to
go
get some
back
clips
and-
out of this. and
Right,
try
there's
to
a
get
lot,
of audio to unpack.
and I'm actually going to take a laptop on my cruise because I'm an addict, and I'll do some things with it too, man.
Oh yeah, it's huge.
Joe, and I hope that if you have anything else that you gotta, let
Send
the
it
world
to
know,
us.
please.
Right.
Yeah, send it
whenever
to
you
us.
can get in touch. I know that obviously this was your first freedom, I
2
guess, of
years.
being able to talk
First
to somebody.
time being able to talk to
Now
somebody
the
2
good
years.
news
Thank
is,
you
let me
for
just
that,
let you
for
know real
trusting
quick,
us.
Joe. I just want to let you know now that you've done my show. Every Tom, Dick, and Harry's going to call you to get you an interview with you while
Right.
you're there. Like, they're all going to call. If Big Mama can do it, I'm going to do it too. Like, that's just the game, and I'm
Yeah.
good with that. But you heard it first.
Right.
Yeah.
Right here.
Only on our station you hear that, man. And
Wow.
I wanna-
7 months, by the way. I
wanna
keep
keep-
saying it. 7 months. That just goes to show you that we will chase you to the ends of the earth
Yeah,
in the
so
Florida
just say
Panhandle
yes.
to get you an interview with us. So if I come calling Carol
Hey.
Baskin,
You better
Hey.
come.
you better answer because
by
I
the
want to hear
way-
your side of it. I'm going to tell you right now.
I really do, too.
promise you.
I know a
feel like
couple
I wanna
bail
give
bonds
this guy a
companies that
hug.
might want you to work for them.
Right, I'm gonna reach out to Carol Baskin, and I'm gonna we're gonna get some clips together, show her some of the more important things that he said, and see what her opinion is. If I can get some sort of even a video,
Yeah.
whatever,
Something.
see if
We'd
we can
love to
get her
talk to
on
her.
to kind of complete the
You
story.
think
I'd love to get Jeff.
everything-
I'd love to get all the guys. I mean,
I thought it was risky when the Muscles put her out to throw a first pitch because Because here's why. It's ugly if something would get like it just is
Yeah.
like you know
Right.
just, right. Nah, I'm cool. I don't need
And it'd
that.
be great to
feel
give
like-
her a
and
platform.
was there anybody that was like, I'm gonna go buy a ticket?
No, I didn't even
Nobody.
know.
Right,
I didn't
right.
even know until you guys
And
said
I think
something.
it's nice
But
to
I
give
would
her a
like to hear how
platform,
she
too.
feels about what Joe just said.
What he just
I'd like
said.
to
This
hear
is late breaking.
because you haven't
saying
heard
it was
from
all
him.
bloated.
We haven't heard his voice.
No.
That's why I didn't believe it was real. We have not heard from Joe Exotic himself. You get a couple recorded phone calls that happen with his lawyer, but nobody is going to ask a
nobody.
question where you get the real Joe, the Joseph, the guy who is just a human who's being dehumanized
life's
and
been
being
wrecked.
basically railed through the mail, and it's horrible. Like, did he? Look, I haven't read into his case, so let me go on the record real quick for everybody out there that's with PETA and animal rights. I didn't read into it.
Yeah.
All I know is this man poses no threat to real society and is going to end his life having cancer in prison for not killing somebody and not raping anybody.
Or not a drug dealer.
Not even. Well,
You know, like
that's borderline depending on how much. Like this guy did nothing. He's not a threat to the society,
The
man. He's just
definition
not.
of cruel and unjust punishment right there.
Yeah, it is.
22 years for
Yeah.
not killing and not, like you said, not doing anything. I mean, that's insane, man.
And before
what a
you-
great interview, man. And I can't think of anyone better than Big Mama to do
Right?
that interview. Isn't it a master class watching him talk?
Yeah.
So
With
I'm
no
getting
script,
word-
I couldn't say
no
anything. I was
background,
just
no
Guys,
nothing. I mean,
I'm getting
way to
word that
go.
the rumor that's just been spread, saying that Carol Baskin's husband was found in Costa Rica. They literally did that to take attention from this interview.
Right.
the what?
They started a rumor on the back end right now saying that Carol Baskin had found her husband in Costa Rica, or that he had been found.
That's
in
been
Costa
out
Rica.
there. That's been out there, and
And
that's
they
been
started
disproven.
spreading it like
Yeah.
over and over right now during this cast.
You know what happens
No.
when people say you're dead and you're not?
You get charges.
You
Yeah.
tell people you're not dead.
Well, they got
Right.
charges because they've legally declared
I'm
him
not dead.
And here's
I'm
the
right
thing.
here. That bitch is crazy. When you're dead and people say you're missing and you're dead, you don't say anything. He just disappeared one day. No. I do cold case podcasting. I'm going to tell you the one thing I
Right.
know. When someone says, I don't know, he just didn't come home one day. You killed him. That's just the game. Like, it's what you know. Like, and it's
And that's what everybody thinks, but I feel like Carol Baskin deserves a platform to be able to say her
He's
side of it.
protecting it, so I
But
don't
here's
lose.
the-
He doesn't want to lose the Carol Baskin interview and her.
No,
Like,
it's
I don't
not-
want to go
it's
on.
not-
But
It's
I
not
think-
about that. It's
Listen,
about giving her that
just for the,
platform.
I'll give her the same fair shake I gave
Absolutely.
Joe.
That's all I'm at. Give
But
her
here's
the
my
fair-
thing. I think people need to see the bigger picture. Is I don't think it has anything to do
Give them
with
both sides.
Joseph or Carol. I don't think it has to do with either of them. He said something today that is a huge thing that has been coming up in lots of interviews, TV shows, specials, and it's about this child abuse, this child sexual abuse that's been going on for years that has been hidden and no one's known about. And now it's all coming to light, and people, higher up people, want to be like, whoop, shut the door on that.
Boy, that was
And
in
that's
Florida.
the big thing.
If that happened in Florida, it'd be already be done.
Yeah.
Right. Absolutely.
But I think that's the bigger picture of
They'd already have
why
that
they're
dude in jail.
trying to
Where is that
silence-
dude at now? I don't want to spend all day on the show, but where's that guy at now? The
he's
dude
on
with the
TikTok.
shitty Oakley bandana.
He's on TikTok.
Yep. Instagram and all that.
Douchebag.
Right.
I'm gonna watch all of his lives.
By the
now,
way,
just
Oakley
because.
bandana equals douchebag. All right, I just want to let you that old hat
Absolutely.
thing, whatever you're doing, the hat thing that you do when you're my age, you jackass. What are you doing? I don't do that. You know what I'm saying? You look like a jackass drug dealer. All right, that's what you look like. And now that he told that side of the
There's a lot
story,
stuff.
There goes our Jeff Lowe interview.
Right.
fuck Jeff Lowe.
Listen, after hearing what I did today, I don't even want to know about
Right. I
just-
do an interview with him. Where
I
you
thought
at
he
right
was-
now, man?
right,
I got
yeah.
somebody who wants to come see you.
I thought
Right.
he
Why don't you
was
come to Lee County?
creepy
Right.
as all.
We'd like to do an
get
interview
out.
with in studio. In studio.
I feel like we could have fun with Tiger King on the phone, like with our games and stuff like that. Like
So
random
I'm-
people
I
being
wanna
like,
do-
"Come hang out with us.
I want to do Marry, Sex, Kill with him and make every third person Carol
Carol
Baskin.
Baskin.
Yeah. He seems pretty
Thanks,
cool.
Leah.
Guys, well, awesome interview, man.
Yes.
Great job, man. So well done.
Guys, good luck
What a
next week.
special.
I'm getting out of here. I'm done. I
Yeah.
did all my work beforehand. I'm packing up and I'm getting the hell out of here. I'm going to go pack and get on a cruise ship and have a great time, guys.
Share.
Have a great day. Share this. Let everyone know this. I recorded it, and we have it. So there we
have
go.
it, yep.
I have the whole thing in its entirety, all except for the first collect call part. But I got the second collect call part, so
Even cooler.
We
I can edit it.
Right, we
around.
can edit a promo for that.
Right. So there we go, ladies and gentlemen. Have a great day. Remember, I'm not doing it again. All right, I'm just getting out of here.
Have a
See
good
ya.
weekend.
See ya.